to know that what's inside of you is like grandmama's greens. So don't give up. Your time is coming.
You're supposed to be somebody that cared about me. You wasn't listening to me.
So now I don't care about you?
I said you're someone that's supposed to care about me.
That's where they go.
Dang! Hey, nah, stop talking, man. Her pictures don't be, it's no joke.
My fault. It's that light skin in me. You know, we whatever side. Whatever side give me the victory.
Whose side are you on?
I'm on my side.
I'm weak. I am weak.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time coming.
Man, you real.
But I know we're just going to be back. Welcome, everyone, to Matthew 77 Project Podcast. I'm Samuel, a.k.a. Mr. Lionhearted. And here with me, I got Coach A.K., our mental health expert, and Minister Dominic, my brother. How y'all feeling?
I feel good. I'm excited. I feel with so much joy. I feel good.
You look excited. You look like you feel with joy.
Thank you.
Happy.
Thank you.
Turn your head so they can see your head.
You want to see what's going on?
Yeah!
Don't play with that girl. Do not play.
Hey,
I think this is adding to my joy that my hair is done.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah, I ain't want to see me.
You ever get like your hair done, whatever, and you feel like you got something new going on? Like you wake up in the morning, like something gonna be different, but you doing the same thing. You just got a different.
Right.
It's like, oh, I thought something was gonna happen today.
You look good, you feel
move
good.
different. Like
Yeah.
we talked about this, like with a fresh cut, like your laugh,
Everything.
you go down a little bit further with your laugh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I just see
Everything a joke, like.
Rub your head.
Oh man,
that's what anything you do. Like when we first got married and I finally got this ring. Because at first I didn't care. I'm like, no, I don't need no diamonds. And then I just kept looking. And I kept putting payments down. And I was like, nah, I need diamonds too. So everything was, oh, what's up, bro? Yeah, how you doing, man? How you feeling? Like, yeah, that's what's
now
up,
you become
man.
dominant with your
Yeah,
little
I
hand.
don't know. Let me think about that,
Happily married. I'm happily married. Oh man, that's funny.
That's funny.
That is hilarious.
I feel great as well, man. It's a beautiful day. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot going on everywhere, but where there's a lot going everywhere on the negative side, that means there's equally a lot going on everywhere on the positive side. If you pay attention.
That was good.
It's a good time to be alive.
Yeah,
It's a good time to be alive.
Yes.
I mean,
What's good about it?
what's good about it? Well, for us especially, like, you gotta think, I'm just a tad bit older than y'all, but we still kind of in the same class of millennial and whatnot. Like we've seen a lot of things transpire. Like our parents told us about when the cell phone first came
When
out.
them old heads try to be relatable.
Right. Right.
Y'all remember when they first came out with smartphones? You do. Not that long ago. Like, knock it off.
Hold on.
Mama having a
What was
flip
considered a
phone.
smartphone? Because was a flip phone a smartphone?
No.
Nah, it was like the first iPhones and all that. Like iPhone, what was the first one? 4,
Remember the little
3 or
iPods?
4 or whatever. Yeah, iPods.
Oh, okay.
We've been around for all that. Like I don't
That is
remember
true.
exactly when internet took off. Remember when social media took off?
Yeah.
Like
I definitely had a MySpace.
Facebook used to be
I
like,
ain't living in MySpace.
For
there.
real?
I was too little.
Hey, look, MySpace, you can like customize your profile, have like your
With the
music
song?
playing. So like when people came to your profiles, like your favorite song, hey, dopest thing ever.
and none of us was allowed to have one, so it was on the.
Yup.
When I go to my friends, let me see your computer, bro.
Yup.
Yeah.
Oh man, MySpace. My first phone was that
Taking you
blue
back
Cricket
about
flip phone.
MySpace.
Remember the blue
Flip
That thing
phone?
was so
I remember.
ugly.
My mama had that.
Oh my gosh, that thing was
I used to
so.
literally.
I always been against cricket. I don't know why.
My mama loved cricket.
I don't know why.
Because
yes, I do. Somebody told me that's the service that the police use. So once they told me that,
What were you doing that made you say, you know what, I don't want to use this?
nothing, loving the Lord.
Be transparent now.
Let's talk about it, dog.
Loving Jesus.
Let's talk about it.
They don't like that. I didn't want to go to jail for loving Jesus.
Oh my gosh. I definitely had a ring back though. Like when somebody calling you and it be playing the music before instead of ringing.
Oh yeah, we all did that.
People was calling me just to listen to my song.
Yeah, and I ain't pay for that.
Why you pick up, man? Because you called me.
I'm weak.
Oh man.
Oh, the ring back where you could hear it when you call them. I forgot about that. I'm talking about just when we
You
start
thought it was
putting.
like a ringtone?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, we start putting actual songs on our ringtones, like when a TV show will come on, and I'll be thirsty with the record, like, oh. Yeah, that's my ringtone.
What was your ringtone? I know you see.
Don't come for our Carly.
Yo. Was you really just coming? I'm about to turn 32, right? What's up with you? What's up with you?
Hey, if that was, let me be standing in line and your phone go off. Will be so wonderful. Hey.
Oh man, but
I remember when it became lame. I remember the day. Cause like
I remember the day.
I was in line one day and no lie, I heard somebody ring back or ringtone. And I said, that's how it sound out loud.
Yeah.
Like to you it was dope. Like this is my song. Like, but then I heard somebody else's song go off and I said, I immediately went to my other settings. That thing like
What else though? We was around for when DVDs first came out.
I used to love on VCR set.
Yeah.
Like, cause we was around for like my kids don't understand having to take the tape out and put it in the thing and rewind it the whole for 10 minutes.
Did y'all ever have to like blow in a little VCR tape?
Oh yeah, we had to do that with everything. Games.
You ain't never get a whooping for accidentally messing up the VCR tape.
No, because I never messed up the VCR tape.
Yeah, we did.
It happened a couple times.
We did.
It happened a couple times.
Well, I had my own little personal. I would just sit in my room, switch them out.
Personal.
Oh, you was privileged.
Yes.
Whoa.
I had one in my room.
Personal.
How many people knew you had your own?
Anybody that came to my cousins, they came to my house.
I ain't know you.
I used to watch the little Rugrats.
Cause you know it's privilege. It's like
Aristocats.
poverty, privileged, and then it's white privilege. So like you was like privileged for black people. Two VCR. You had your own VCR.
He said privilege of black people. Back when it was a strong middle class.
Right.
Yeah.
I could just be part of the class.
We got a VCR in every room.
Right, yeah. But when big screens had the fat back to them.
I had one of those. I used to be moving it around the room and drop my mama, what are you in there doing? I'm rearranging.
See?
When they used to keep money, that was the bank account and everything. Keep money in the back of that thing.
I mean, see, we've been around for a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
If you cut that hole in the back, it was nothing back there.
Nah,
what did they do all that for?
Like people were putting their whole life in the back of that TV. How in the world do y'all make a TV and the back is just air?
They ain't know what they were
Somebody
doing.
came along like, you know what? This is stupid.
Yeah,
They had to.
It's
They
heavy
had
for no
to.
reason.
Heavy for no reason.
What is
Nah. It was heavy for a reason. them like 3 sets of them.
The TV that got the VCR and the input and the DVD player all attached to it.
I don't talk about the 15s that sat at the bottom of the TV. They had the subwoofer at the bottom of the.
Facts.
Hey, that's why I was heavy, man.
What else? Now you really got me thinking. What else?
Oh,
you
man.
for?
Dang, Dom, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess no,
Yeah.
my bad.
It's a good time to be alive. Like,
My bad.
we seen a lot. Is that what you was about to show?
Is that your inspiration?
The many faces of Bubba.
The many faces of Bubba.
Don't use
now.
do not use Bubba name in vain.
Oh, you right, my fault.
See, now you gonna put pause on him.
I'm gonna take a sip of my refresher out of my brand new Matthew 77 Project mug.
Man, look, when I tell you these mugs so dope,
I love them.
hey, I appreciate Art Valve. Hey, you can go, on Instagram and you can find Art Valve. Like, just type in ARTVALV. Yup. And hey, show her some love. Show her some love. And she brand her material too, so you can't forget her.
I like it.
Big facts.
It's different. I like how it doesn't go completely black.
I like how I make my drink taste better.
Say that.
All right.
Okay, Sam.
You know what? Please, everybody, do not forget to like, share, subscribe, and follow us on all social media platforms at Matthew77 Project. We would greatly appreciate it. And most importantly, like I said, comment. That's like the most important part.
Right.
Nah, it really though.
We want to know what's on your mind, how you feel about what we're talking about, and because we really read them. So,
yeah,
you know.
That's the whole point here is, ask your questions, about what we said, about what you just want to know, what you want to talk about.
What you want to hear us talk about.
Yeah. Do that. Comment. Respectfully. Comment.
And to give a little bit, better context about where we at right now, we are talking about the whole Roe v. Wade, thing going on in the world today. So, AK being, the queen of Matthew 77, we just want to, really just know how you feel about it before we start, being a man about it.
That song just played in my head. Just for you.
I don't know that song.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe if you sing it some more. You know how people say titles of songs, you be like, I never heard that. Then somebody play it, you sing every word. Like,
I know I ain't gonna sing.
I thought I ain't think you was being for real. I don't know what she was singing either. But your response, it just sounded real saved. I've never heard that. If it wasn't made by the Clark sisters, I never heard that.
Give it up for the Clark sisters.
You listen to that heathen music?
Right. I know Karen and Twinkie and Dorinda.
Oh, man. Do you have any Timberland man?
Okay. He brought me through trials. He brought me through tribulations.
When he put on that accent.
Never let the day go by. But I realized
it was the blood.
Just know that we're blessed and highly favored.
Oh, man. This is what I'm saying. This, just put it all together. Press down and shake it together.
And running over.
Don't forget the running over part.
And we were so worldly when we heard that a scripture like pressed down and shaking together. What that make you think of?
I don't know.
Never mind. Go ahead.
I was going to let you say it.
I know. And I was about to go there. It don't matter.
Hold on, what am I
Can I please hear it?
Nah, just being blessed.
Cap.
So, AK, on a serious note, how are you feeling about the whole Roe v. Wade situation?
Okay. First and foremost, it is like a very big topic right now. It's sensitive. It's affecting a lot of people. Not just women, it's also affecting men as well in, different aspects. But me personally, the way that I feel, I have my beliefs and what I stand on, but then I also have emotions. And I'm also a woman. And what I feel the wrong in it is the fact that free will and rights were taken away. Yes, it's not condoned by God, and I do stand with that. However, even God gives us our own free will to either serve him, love him, follow him, all of that. But he also tells us how that makes him feel. He also expressed to us the consequences of certain things that we do. So I just feel like, who has that power to tell us what we can and can't do when the Almighty already tells us you can and can't do that, but that's what it's just gonna come with. So that's really like, just to put it in like small terms, that's really where I'm at with it.
I understand that. It's like you said, it's definitely a big thing. And I think one of the most touchy-est parts about it is, like you said, it's easily become a men versus women thing, which I just feel like as of late, that's really being pressed like to be like almost a literal war between men and women.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to pick your side and be on that side. And with not just this situation, but so many that put us against each other. For years, we've been trying to blame each other for everything. Women don't do this. Men don't do this.
Right.
It's not a lot of good women left. There's no good men. Men do this. So I'm not trying to get off topic. I'm just pointing up why it's so sensitive, because this is primarily, this affects women, right? Because men can't have an abortion. So this primarily affects women. So the minute, that we get to talking, we can even be in support of them. But it's just like, yeah, you're a man, shut up.
Right.
Right.
So it's just like, being a believer and talking to people about different aspects about their life, about what God loves, what he hates. It's just getting over that uncomfortable hump where it's like, yeah, you a Christian, of course you gonna, you know what I mean? And being able to still endure that and make sure that you speaking from a place of love and support and understanding. Because the fact of the matter is, and this too, we need to make sure that we are having conversations with people and addressing people from our clear side of the spectrum. So we can't have a debate with somebody, especially not an unbeliever, about a particular piece of it, and then get lost in that, because you're not going to win that. You're not going to win that argument. You're not going to win that debate. You're not going to cause that person to see things from your side.
Right.
So
that's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah. So, I mean, from our perspective, from our side of the spectrum on this issue, we are against abortion.
Right.
Right.
Right. Because that's killing life.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's extend that. We are against any life being taken.
Mm-hmm.
Born and unborn.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just abortion, and we okay with people getting shot in the street every day.
Right.
And I think sometimes when big issues like this come up, and that just becomes the focus because that's the headline, it makes it seem as if, well, y'all condone all this other stuff. Why y'all speaking up against this?
Right.
It's like, well, no, we don't condone all that other stuff.
But nobody's fighting for that other stuff to be made
become
right.
like the norm.
So it's like
stuff like that.
Things get addressed based on what's being pressed. So
yeah, what the headline
is. If like you said, what the headline is. So if we talk about abortion, we're not talking about people getting killed in the street, even though it's happening. But at the same time, nobody's getting killed in the street, and then people saying that this is right. You should let people kill.
True, and I think unfortunately it happens so often,
right?
That I mean, you're not gonna see as many news stories, and you're not gonna see the footage of people having all type of meetings and all that stuff, because that's ongoing.
Right. But that's go out there with a sign and say murder is okay. It's gonna be pressed just as hard as abortion. Is this, you not fighting for that to be okay? You fight. This is what we talking about. What you fighting for? So everybody got different opinions and different viewpoints and how they feel about it. Me personally, I'm coming straight from biblical principle. So I really can't, like you saying, I can't talk to a non-believer about where I'm from because you don't believe. So whatever I'm saying is like going in one ear out the other. You're not caring about that. So it's like we can have a conversation, but the conversation is kind of short-lived because I'm moving by a different set of rules.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I really, my mind frame in talking about this is really geared towards the people that call themselves true believers that are out here saying that it's okay. Based on different circumstances, based on what they had to do or what, somebody they love had to do. I understand it. I honestly do. And I'm not kicking nobody while they're down. I'm not making them feel bad about whatever decision they make. My thing is you just can't justify your sin. That's it. Like, do what you got to do, and you work that out with God. My whole thing is you can't do what you got to do and then trying to convince me that it's right. Or convince yourself. Or for, to even go again, convince God. Because wrong is wrong. Now, it's a million different circumstances that, fall into that category. And, if we tried to iron out every different circumstance, we'd be here all day. So you really
and that's kind of what I mean by making sure you stay in a certain vein. Because the minute we start having this conversation, right, the bulk of any argument that somebody would try to have with you is not going to be, what about this situation where somebody was being wild and free and this ended up happening?
Right.
What about this situation where we was together and we got into it and we was torn? That's not what they're going to throw at you. They're going to throw at you, what if the girl was raped and was impregnated against her will? What if there were pregnancy complications? And the doctor's coming to y'all telling y'all that this can harm the baby or harm the mother. It's going to be those situations. So that's why I'm saying you have to, stay in a certain vein.
And that's exactly why I say I'm talking to so-called true believers. That's why I say I'm talking to them, because in situations like that, I'm pulling a faith card.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's where faith really
where's your faith at? Because if the doctor's telling you, hey, you go through this pregnancy, you might not make it. And your first reaction should be, okay, cool, I'm going to see what God said about that. Like, versus you letting the doctor spook you so bad that you make this wrong decision, because I wholeheartedly believe that we don't serve a confusing God. So he's not going to put us in a situation where our only result and only thing to do is to do what he don't want us to do.
Right.
So
but in that moment, it is hard for people to really go straight to that. That's why we do have to stay prayed up. We do have to make sure we're keeping our faith strong and stuff like that. And just to give an example, and what my mom went through when she was pregnant with me, it was an instant where it was like either me or her, or I was going to come out this way. I was going to have these type of disabilities and stuff like that. But my mama reminds me every day how whenever the nurses were speaking, she spoke the opposite. She prayed over me. She prayed while she was carrying me. She prayed as she was getting rushed down to the delivery room, because she suffered with preeclampsia. And they did tell her, okay, what are you going to choose? It's going to be either the baby or you. And she began to speak life over me.
Right.
So it is, when you do pray, you have your faith strong, it's very much so possible to speak against what the doctors are saying.
Right.
And to pull down your faith and trust in God.
That's why I said we are really moving by a different set of rules. So it's this, when we hear certain things, our first reaction ain't to listen to the doctor. It shouldn't be. Not saying that it's not, but even if our first reaction is to listen to the doctor and we get spooked, you should check back in. Like, hold on. Before I do this, I need to,
But that's a part of the prayer too, because we've had this conversation already. God can choose to move in a certain situation any way he chooses. So it might be through the doctor's diagnosis. It might be through the doctor's suggestion. It might be through a certain procedure or whatever is necessary where he can move through that. That's why we have to continue to be open. And you like this faith walk, like you really got to be tapped in and plugged in to God, because the minute that you slack or that you be off, that's what leaves all that room for confusion and uncertainty.
Right.
And I just don't know. And when you start struggling with that, you might as well be on the other side of unbelief. Because that's the whole point of this, is changing that to where I don't have to live my life this way.
Right.
And I mean, that's with any situation. Like I said, we had this conversation all the time about going to the doctor, about taking advice, taking medicine, all those different things. That's the doctor's job. Is I got to look at what's going on. I got to go through these processes that they taught me. And I have to tell you something based on whatever research I did, whatever we looked at. And I'm giving you our best suggestion. I don't want to go in a different direction right now, but I have to give you what's considered our best suggestion, the best thing that we have to offer.
Right.
And so when you tapped in and you connected and you stayed in prayer, those decisions and what to do, and moments like those, you begin to look at as opportunities. Right. The Bible always tells us that it's at our weakest moments, it's at our most darkest hour that God shines the brightest, that he's at his full strength.
Right.
And so a lot of times, at times, it takes a situation like that for us to actually walk through that and experience that. Now, this is just on the heavier side of those situations. Like, I can't imagine being a woman, because I can imagine being a man. My wife and I miscarried before we had our first child together, my youngest son, Josiah. Like, so I'm not going to go all the way through that situation, but that was tough, man. Like, and being a man, that was tough. I didn't have to go through what she had to go through with experiencing everything in her body and what the end result of that was, because after they determined that it was an unsuccessful pregnancy, that baby that was in there, I mean, you know what I mean? It was still in there, it had to come out. You know what I mean? So and that's just from my perspective. I can't imagine this thing, you know, this being growing in me and having that kind of connection and having to struggle with that.
Right.
So again, that's why, and I'm gonna segue into this part of it too, because I think as believers, these different things that we dealing with, especially with this topic of abortion, we have to make sure, man or woman, that we're tapped into resources, that we're tapped into available help, that we know where to point people to, that we have connections with some way to get them somewhere, so that if you don't know something, or if you're not privy to, you know, a certain side or a certain situation that comes with different complications, that you can get them to somebody or to some information that can help them.
Right.
Versus just being one of those fake radical Christians that are just stand on, it's wrong, and you attacking people, you coming at people. And let me just further help somebody, that don't bring nobody closer to God.
Sure don't.
That don't make nobody want to get on your side and accept your decision or choose your belief when you move like that.
Because you're portraying God in the wrong manner.
Yeah.
Right.
So if I'm struggling with this and I'm even considering making this decision, and all you can tell me is, don't do it, it's wrong.
Right.
But you're not doing nothing else
or
for
even
me.
after someone has already made the decision and you either, you know, just now finding out about it, or even if you knew the whole time they was going to make that decision, even afterwards, that's the most perfect time to really lay out the truth, but also reflect the same love that Jesus is giving them. Jesus ain't in their ear telling them, that was wrong, you did this, you did that. But that's when he's ready to receive them with open arms.
Right.
He don't look at you any differently.
Right.
That be the side that I choose to focus on, is, you know, either being a part of or being able to make that connection to where people from different sides, the man and the woman, they can get what's needed in these different scenarios. We was kind of talking about this a little while ago. Like, if you just wrote, and there's so many different areas associated with this topic where help should be and can be provided.
Right.
Of course, those things don't get broadcast and get put out there like, oh, there's this and this and this in the city and this in the city and this group over here. But everything from adoption to, like you just mentioned, people that'll actually be there for you and walk with you after you've already gone through that, to you know what I'm saying, people that got connections with medical, facilities, and people that can help you with really breaking down what's the best route for, you know what I mean, what to do for preservation of the woman's life and the baby's life, resources to even, I didn't even know what preeclampsia was. And my sister went through that with my youngest nephew, I believe, who did end up passing after he was born. But I didn't know that's what that was. That's something that my wife was talking to me about and bringing that up to my attention. Like, so I think that part of it is so important. My Uncle Arnold is involved in, you know, pro-life, and one of the Douglas Leadership Institute that he's involved in, they actually partner with churches and hitting this issue and trying to help provide those different, and I there's a bunch that I didn't name, different scenarios, but there's some kind of help or something to where we say this all the time, you cannot, being a believer, you can't look at somebody and say, don't do this, it's wrong, and just leave it there.
Right. You're right.
Like, you can stand on it being wrong. God don't agree. God hates this. Stand on that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't waver. Because the minute we start wavering or start trying to figure out other ways to just make people feel good about whatever, then we coming off the truth. And now it's hard for people to make a distinction. Well, what do you believe? Because you was condoning this over here. So stand on your truth. But have a way to redirect.
Right.
To build people up. Like, we gotta be much better at the love part of this thing. We're supposed to love people into truth. Love people into righteousness.
And I'm glad you're saying that, because just to hit it from, both ends of the spectrum, I want to start talking about the believers that agree with the decision. Because, I feel like we got to check the hearts of men. Because I feel like it's a lot of people that love this decision that are believers just because they feel like it's on the side of right. But even in the right decision, it's still wrong because, like you said, AK, you're taking away somebody's decision. So even God gave us free will to decide what we want to decide. So whatever they want to decide, you can't take that away, one. And two, you cannot force people that are unrighteous to be righteous. So if we're supposed to be bringing kingdom to the world and not the other way around, we can't be trying to force people to be righteous through laws. That it don't work like that. So if you're a Christian and you believe like this is the best decision, I'm on the side of God, and we need to be looking at the hearts of men. Because just because they can't do it doesn't mean that they not doing it for the right reasons. So it's still their heart position. So I'm just not doing this because I can't. Not because I love God so much and I want to do the right thing. It's because I can't do it. So they still got a dirty heart. They still not connected. So you happy that they just got their right taken away, but you're not even trying to get their life,
Right.
So it's just.
I didn't even see it like that.
It's you got to hit from both sides of the spectrum. Because
you saw on your TV, yes,
right,
it got bad, and that's it. You went on with your life,
right?
You didn't think nothing else about anybody.
Because there's so many other different things that people are doing, and all people are doing that goes against God. Not just that wasn't just the main thing or the only thing. Like, oh, but now they can't do it, so now they just automatically saved, and now they're gonna have to bow down. Like what? Like, there's so many other things.
Right.
That's not the only thing.
Yep, and that's another thing, and that's why I was saying, like, staying on our side of the spectrum. Let me clarify that statement, because what I'm not saying is stay in your place and mind your business. That's not what I'm saying.
Right.
What I'm saying is, because from the things I pointed out, them special circumstances and unique situations where it wasn't just two people being wild and free. You got that, but then you got all these arguments over here, right? Why did they make this decision? Because everybody that's in those seats that voted and played a part in making that decision and being in those courtrooms and all of that, all of them aren't saved.
Right.
Okay. So we know as believers that God can take any situation and use it for good, and he can even control people who don't profess Christ. He can use them
I'm doing this.
to implement his will. However, again, we talking about unbelievers and people who we trying to bring to Christ.
Right.
We got all these arguments of control, men trying to control women's bodies. So you got all this stuff that comes in the mix, and it starts to take away from, where we really stand. Because I don't know none of them personally. I don't know what their agenda is. I don't know that this was something to further control women, put them back in their place, as far as the people who played a role in making the decision. I'm not talking about where we stand and what God wants, because that's the stuff that people are going to argue about. Even when we just trying to make our righteous response to it, like, well, God, and they're going to go straight to that. They're not going to respond to what you're saying. They're going to go straight to that. But you got to be able to stand on this. You can't argue back and forth with this is just a distraction and this is what's really going. You can't go back and forth with people about that because you're going to lose that argument more than likely because now we either just got to keep going back and forth with speculation or conspiracy or all of that. And you're going to lose the argument and you're going to ruin that opportunity. Like, these are opportunities for seeds to be planted. For seeds to be planted, for love to be shown and spread, because that's the only way we're going to bring people to Christ. That's the only way. All this other stuff, bro, I don't care if you know where there is $2 gas right now. If you come at me like, man, you pumping that? You getting that? Man, I know where $2. What you gonna do? You gonna be stupid? Or I'm gonna be looking at you like I'm about to hurt you.
Because the way you're talking to
about to lay hands.
We're not gonna find out where the $2 gas is, because we gonna be, you know what I'm saying? I'm being cuffs.
Nah, you
like
got
the how you coming at me is totally off, and I'm not trying to hear. I don't care what you said. $1 gas, 50-cent gas.
Who
are you talking
and
to?
Don't let me be there because I'm following up.
We don't understand.
Matthew 77 Project. For the corner of the speed, all of them followed up.
Matthew 77 Project does not condone anybody.
Disclaimer.
But if you must lay hands, do so by the power of the Holy Spirit.
Please.
Oh, man. And as a friendly reminder, try Jesus, not me.
Oh man, we do so much damage in our whack approach to people.
Yeah.
And it's like, you thought that was going to get somebody to Christ? You thought that was going to get somebody to see a different perspective? You coming at them like that?
Who came up with that approach, I wonder?
Your mama?
Hey.
My mama? Not. AK, calm down. Calm down. When I say your mama, I mean...
Hey, you all right?
No, I'm talking about, like...
You cool, G?
I'm gonna help you out.
Community.
I'm gonna help you out. 9 times out of 10, when you was a kid, and you needed help on your homework, how was the approach?
I had a positive approach. I'm not gonna cat.
Your mama never sent that you with a belt?
No, my mama
and tested you and told you to get the answer wrong again?
My mama never...
She was going... Okay.
I never had to experience that because I already knew not to even be cocky. And I knew the answers.
Tell them, I wasn't no dummy.
I wasn't no dummy.
I was not. Like, I was showing my mama stuff.
Yo. Look,
if Tommy had 3 apples, count, son. 1,
oh my God.
2, 3.
I'm having flashbacks. Look.
Hey,
let's chill.
So when I say your mama, I'm saying like a general sense because in the black community,
generational sense,
it's like everybody had that. You got to get this. Like, this is easy. I don't understand why you don't understand.
I could say they do that out of love too.
Yeah, we love tough.
So you grow up,
tough love,
and everything you do and how you explain everything is that tough love approach.
Aggressive,
and you don't even see it because this is how I learned.
I get it.
I mean, my dad said that to me with a belt.
He wanted you to get it.
And said, "What's this?" That approach was messed up.
Did you pass?
I can't remember. They used to tag team and switch off.
Did you pass Sam Jackson?
Hey, Tracy, come in here with this boy. She'd get frustrated, yell at me, and then she'd walk off. They tag team all night. And then it was just like...
They just wanted you to get it so bad.
I mean, I passed, but it was like,
I understand.
It was a couple beatings through that. So now it's like we go out and we supposed to be these, these lovers of Christ, and we supposed to love the people. And then it's like now
you thinking about it.
Right.
If Jesus had 3 apples,
we gonna beat you into salvation.
Yeah.
Like,
I guess
Jesus was beat.
It doesn't make it right, but I get it. Especially like if you know what God provides for you and what you get through being saved, you just want that for everybody. It doesn't make it right, the approach, but I do understand.
About it. Yeah, when you know the truth,
right? You want everybody to have this. Like,
right.
I get it.
Big fact.
But stop doing that.
Yeah.
That ain't cool.
Fact. I had to learn to stop doing that because I'm
still learning.
I'm a sizey guy. So me being aggressive and being the demeanor, the body I have, it's like, you gonna be aggressive and you gonna hover over me?
Yeah.
I'm not listening to nothing. You want my money? Like,
Yeah.
Come look up.
I give you whatever you want.
It's 2022. They're giving you something else. Like, I got something for you. It won't be the money in my pocket, good sir. But please finish.
Now that you put a hollow on me for trying to bring you to Jesus. Like, I fear for my life.
Right.
Like, no, I fear for your life. Like, but, you know.
I like that. That was nice. But yeah, that's my biggest that's where I stand with this, is really focusing on, okay, because I don't want to get into those different scenarios.
Right.
And I advise us not to, especially if you don't have empathy and you've not been trained or just don't understand proper response to somebody. This was something I was listening to Miles Monroe, and he was just talking about the different aspects of witnessing to people and responding and trying to understand. And he made this scenario where, okay, you try to tell somebody about God, and their response is, well, how can you believe in God? How can I believe in God? I watched my mom have this happen to her. And his response is, okay, I can understand why you wouldn't believe in God. Now, to the super religious person, he said what?
Right.
But how can you not empathize with that person?
Right.
I'm still going to do what I can to bring you to him, but I'm not going to skip over that and be like, I know that happened, but you got to have the faith. Like,
right.
I'm sorry.
You got to make a connection first.
Exactly.
So people are willing to listen to what you're saying. And this was a couple episodes ago, we was talking about making a connection first. Yeah. So when somebody's telling you, they not receiving nothing until they understand that you love them.
Right.
And what you're saying is with love. Right. So when they tell it, like you said,
about what they saying.
Right. So when they breaking it down to you, like you said, Dom, it's like your only response should be, I understand. Because you human still. You still got a mind. I understand why you think that. But we act like, we so up here that when people, have their different reasons and their different truths, we act like it's so crazy and it's bizarre.
Right.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
you understood or that we never, was in that.
Right.
In that
or that we never had a moment where we kind of maybe question our faith, maybe wavered or something.
I definitely understoed why I was going what I was. I understood it. You hear me? I understood
that
it.
smile on your face.
Right.
Hey, when my dad's wife preached for the first time this past weekend. At one point in her message, she was saying she knew somebody, and they were saying how I'm more experienced in sin than you are. And that just made me think of that, because in a lot of cases we could probably say that to somebody. And Bishop came behind her and was like, "Yeah, I could train you in that thing if I wasn't delivered." Like, and that just be the truth. Yeah. Like, before you forget where you was, and it wasn't that long ago. We be trying to act like and
what's crazy is you only like that, like you never did nothing wrong when you're around new people. Catch that same person around people that know them.
Right.
Yeah.
They mute.
Big
like
facts.
But when you out in the streets and you around people that don't know you, then it's like, I'm holier than thou, and if you messed up,
holier than
like
that phrase out.
Right, look, I already know.
Who is that? Who is that? But yeah, we gotta see, the times that we in. That's another reason why it's a great time to be alive, because there's so much going on that the soil in the ground is fertile for seeds to be planted. Like, we should be looking to get next to people that's in these situations, not shun them and get away from them. We should be looking to get next to them and connect with them and love on them, because that's what they need. That's what we need every day. That's what we need with the people that's around us. So anybody that's not in a circle like that or surrounded by people like that, that's what they need. Somebody to come alongside them, to love them. Like, you can't give somebody your number, say, call me when you need me, and then they'll never answer. You can't see somebody say that's wrong and then turn around and run before they can be like, well, can you help me?
Right, or how's it wrong? Or,
like, you out of there. Like, don't do that. Like, you out of there. Like, you out of there. Like, that.
Oh, my God.
The takeoff.
Hey, the takeoff. Don't do it.
For real, man, we be working against ourselves. Like, you cannot get a message of love and peace and hope and righteousness to somebody in a dark place that may not be ready to receive that, and you pushing it at them like, you know what I mean? You don't throw me no chest pass in the paint. Like, you feel me? I'm posting this dude up. I'm blocking him off, trying to make sure I'm open. You gonna throw me a chest pass? That's gonna bounce off me, hit me in the face. We lose the possession.
That's not talking about me attempting to catch what you throwing that I jam my finger.
Yeah.
Now you done got me all messed up. Now I'm injured and playing through
assess my situation. Like, whether you know hoop or not, you can kind of relate to what I'm saying. Assess my situation. Look at what I'm up against.
Right.
The height of the problem behind me.
Analogy.
Yeah, the height of the problem behind me. The possibility that if I don't get at the right angle,
in front of me.
or if you don't throw it to me the right way, I can't turn the right way, or I look and see if I got any ground or position and then throw the right pass.
Right.
So I can then turn and do what I got to do to get the bucket. Like, then we can go back and get on defense together. Like, we got to change our minds the way that we looking at people and their situations. And our mindset always should be, what can we do? Who do I know that can do?
Right.
Like, that's what it gotta be. Like this,
and change your minds. I got one little thing I want to say, and I'm off of this Roe v. Wade. But I want people to really understand and know, if they don't, especially our believers, your life really ain't your own. And in believing that, when you go into these situations where you might lose your life, I'm not in your shoes. I don't know how it sounds to the ear that you might, not make it. But at the end of the day, if you're really living your life for God, you have to be prepared for His will. So we always say, Lord, let your will be done, but we never say it sincerely. So, when His will is really done, we thrown off. But we have to really consider the fact that maybe my only purpose was to get to this point and give birth to this baby, and my job is done. But our mind is so small, and we don't believe God would never do that. He'd never do that to me. He'd never put me in that situation. He won't let me die. Why wouldn't he? So it's like, we have to really change what we think. And I'm talking about one, woman, but two, the man that's next to the woman. Because at the end of the day, it's like, I'm not losing my life, but if I'm standing next to you, I'm about to lose you, possibly. And we both got to be prepared for that. If this is the will, this is the will. So it's like, when we talk about like purpose and fulfilling it and living a full life, we have to understand that our full life and God's full life is two different lives. Because when we think about a full life, it's like, I'm, 80, 90.
Right. I'm done.
I might get to 100 if I eat right. But God's full life might be, and He going to give birth to that baby and he out of here.
Yeah, that bring up a real good point of a certain level of faith that and this is the point of the conversation where it's like,
and I ain't saying like it's easy. I can't even imagine. I can't.
Yeah, and that's for the believer. Like we always have to make that distinction. I wouldn't even be saying that to a non-believer.
Nah, not at all.
Because it's believers that's struggling with that concept.
Right.
Like, that's a believer concept. To think about having faith, because faith is crazy. Like, faith makes you look really insane and dumb. Like, you telling me...
You remember that?
Remember
that?
You telling me you believe this? You telling me in the face of all of this stuff, in this literal diagnosis, or this literal situation that you have right here, you believe no. That's retarded. And you have to be willing to look like that in people's eyes because you believe like that. Like, that's next level. Everything that come with this walk is not going to make sense and be able to be made in a way is, oh yeah, I could take that because it makes sense. Oh yeah, I can deal with that because it makes sense. I could see that. Faith remove all that.
Right.
I can't see that at all. Like, I can't see that at all. That makes no sense.
Right.
Why would I do that? Why would I move like
he came out with the paper, showed me the numbers. He said the likelihood, it's a wrap. So it's like, you right.
Yeah.
You right.
Coupled with being in tune with God so that you make the decision based on what you hear. Also, like all this stuff go together. You can't just focus on one area and neglect the rest.
Right.
So
right,
I'm not
right.
saying solely focus on faith. I believe. That just made me think of shit. I believe. But don't solely be donkey on Shrek. And I believe.
Say that one when you first got filled. Say that's how you went. When you was up there, I believe.
Yo.
At least it was for me. I believe.
But I'm not saying be like that.
Oh, that's the title. That is the title.
Stop, because I was about to go way straight into donkey. Like,
man,
we're not here for that.
Oh snap! My cup is empty.
Drunk that juice.
Well, too.
Yeah, we have to make sure that we couple all these different aspects of our walk, because that's what carries us through situations like this, times like this, and that's how we can truly help somebody else out.
But if you are a person, believer or non-believer, you are like battling with this concept, even if it's just affecting you. Maybe you never had to make that type of decision, or you've had to make that type of decision. We're open to talk to you about it, to pray with you. We're not just here talking. We really mean it.
Because
we stand with you.
Yeah, because you're valuable. Your life is valuable. You're not any less of a person or a human if you've been through something like that.
Right. Don't think that because we're addressing things that we, kicking you while you down.
Exactly.
We gotta have them tough conversations.
Absolutely. And don't worry, if you didn't fit into this category, we gonna get to your street. Like we coming. Like that episode that deal with whatever you got going on, it may not be a headline or a news story, but we gonna step on your toes at some point.
Right.
And again, it's from a place of love to build you up, especially if you are a believer, but even if you are not, we still love you. And the truth that we stand on is the truth that we stand on.
Amen. Well, we out of here. Peace.
Yeah.
I want you to know that what's inside of you is like grandmama's greens. So don't give up. Your time is coming.